What's going on, BP family, and welcome to another Beyond Prosperous video or podcast if you're on the podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Raequane Jones, and this channel is for leaders, influencers, and coaches to help them fulfill their dreams, reach their goals, impact lives, and live a life abundantly in their purpose. And so again, if you're here, I'm so excited that you're here. And obviously you read the title. And so we're talking about, do you have a dream? Basically, what I want to talk to you about today is a couple of things that help you find that dream and understand that, yes, I believe that there is a dream in each and every one of us, but ultimately figuring out what it looks like and what that is for your life. All right. So this is something that John Maxwell said. He said, a dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions, empowering you to do everything necessary to achieve it. So a dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions, empowering you to do everything necessary to achieve it. Everything necessary. Listen, we're about to jump into this. All right. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the key elements of dreaming. And so the first is the mind. When you think about dreaming, when you think about this thing that you're supposed to do or this vision that you have in your mind, the first thing is, again, it is the mind. And so when I talk about the mind, I'm talking about the mindset. And so when I think about the mind and how it impacts your dream, this sometimes has to do everything with exposure to your dream, exposure to the vision, exposure to those things that you need to do in order to get that vision and bring it to reality. And so there's a mindset that you have to have that basically puts you in a place of constantly going forward, of constantly achieving, of constantly really putting yourself in position to do those things. And so when we talk about the mind, what are you putting in your mind? What are you putting around yourself? That's ultimately going to help you. Or what are you putting around yourself that's even distracting you from getting those things that you want? And so when I think about the mind, I think about something basically like the senses, your senses, the things that you touch, the things that you see, the things that you hear. You know what I'm saying? And so the things that you are putting around yourself in your environment impacts the way that you see the world, but also impacts the way that you think. And so when we understand and get intentional about the things that we are thinking, we can in turn really be able to transform our life into our what our dream is and basically make that dream into a reality. And so let's get into element two. So element two is the will. And so this morning I was working out and I had this thought. And so I was thinking about this. I'm like, if I'm a 6 foot tall man and I'm in 2 feet of water, and let's say I lay down flat, and I'm just wanting to end it all. If I'm in that water of 2 feet and I'm 6 feet tall, able body, I'm able to stand up. I believe that at some point when I'm underwater, my body will start shaking, vibrating, and get me out of the water. And it's because my body has the will to live, but it does not have the will to succeed. And so when I get into dangerous tight areas, my body will take over. My body will get into that either like fight or flight, run, say a fight or flight, to where I'm either going to stay and I'm going to do what I need to do, or I'm getting out of there. And there's instincts that our body has that automatically generates. And so I want to talk to you about the will of the spirit, the will of the soul. And so while your body has the will to live, it may not have, it doesn't have the will to succeed. It will have the will to survive. But there's another thing that you have to tap into if you desire to succeed, if you desire to bring that dream and make it a reality. And again, we're talking about, do you even have a dream? How do you construct this dream? How do you really say, this is what I believe I'm supposed to do? And the second element of dreaming is the will to want something, a desire, a passion. So if you don't have that in your life, and sometimes you can miss out on the very thing that you're supposed to do. Your dream will be created because you have this desire to do something great. You have this desire to do something more than what you're currently doing. And so the will, this is what's going to help you bring that thing to reality. All right. So number three is your emotions. So I heard this said that emotions are great detectives. Your emotions is a great detective, but a terrible leader. And it's because in different areas, in different times of our life, our emotions can detect when something is wrong, but it can lead us in the wrong direction at the same time. And so, yes, your every single human being has emotions. And so I'm not saying we're going to get rid of those things, but instead we're going to use them for their intended purpose. And so when you feel upset, when you feel angry, sometimes that can be a sign telling you that this is something that bothers me. This is something that I'm frustrated with. Now, at that point, it's up to your mind to say, is this something that I should be getting upset about? Or is this something that I shouldn't be getting upset about? That I need to, something I need to grow in or get a new perspective of or a new revelation of so that I can be everything that I need to be. Because there are some things in our life that we are going through that our emotions begin to take over and we begin to say things that we don't mean because we allow our emotions to lead. Now, your emotions are there to detect things. Your emotions are there to let you know, to let your body know, hey, I kind of enjoy this. Hey, I'm not feeling this. Like whatever your body is feeling, sometimes your emotion can get to if you're as long as your emotions is in the right position, then you're good. And once you start letting your emotions be the leader, now you start to get things out of alignment, and that can hurt you. All right. And so these are three things. And when it comes to your dream, you have to understand that there are things that you must put in place to make sure that your emotions is not driving you. Because if your emotions drive you, you'll be up one day and down the next. And so we can't allow our emotions to drive us because our emotions can drown us in things that we never thought that we could drown in. So when it comes to your will, when it comes to your mind, when it comes to your emotions, you have to be intentional. And you're going to hear me say this a lot, how intentionality just brings so much. Like, this is what's going to help you separate you from where you were to where you want to be, right? So when you have this thing in your mind, you say that I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know the purpose on my life. I don't even know why I have this purpose or I have this desire. I'm telling you that you have been created with a dream. You've been created with a purpose and a calling. All right. So now let's jump into the meat. So number one is direction. So direction, the first thing that you need to know is that vision is key. When you think about a direction, many times before you start going, you think about a destination. And so let's say, all right, so this is my first point. Your vision is your North Star. So for instance, if you're trying to go north, if your vision is way out there, basically it's like, okay, so I may not know every single obstacle that's going to come, but I know that I'm headed in the right direction. And so when you're thinking about your vision, when you're thinking about your dream, the thing that you believe that you've been created for, you have to first see it in your mind so that you can be going in the right direction. Number two, a person with no goals is a person with no clear future. And so like I was saying, those obstacles and things, those things will come. But when you have a goal, when you have things that you've put in place to say, hey, this is a milestone, this is a milestone, this is a milestone, these basically solidify that you're going in the right direction. So these things solidify that you're going in the right direction. This means that when I get to a certain point, I get excited because I know that I just hit a milestone. That means that if I hit this milestone, that means that I'm that much closer to my ultimate destiny and that I'm going in the right direction. And so when you have this dream, you may still be saying right now, listen, I still don't even, I don't even know what my dream is. We're going to get to that, right? All right. So allow your principles to guide you through the tough decisions. And so we were just talking about this when it comes to your emotions. When it comes to your emotions, we can't allow that thing to be the thing that leads us. We allow it to detect when things are going on. All right. And so when it comes to principles in your life, they're going to be principles that you need to put in your life to help guide you through those hard decisions. And so the thing that you believe, let's say you don't believe working on Sunday, then don't book anything on Sunday. Don't create any content on Sunday. Create a life. And again, this may be tough. You may be like, oh man, I need to get stuff out Monday morning. Well, that means if listen again, if your principle is, your belief is, I don't work on Sunday, Stick by it. Maybe you have to go to sleep early on Sunday, get up early on Monday, do what you got to do. But there are things in your life that your principle must align up with with your dream, with your reality. And so for me, family, my wife and my kids, they are priority to me. And so if there is something that comes up and it's going to just destroy our plans or whatever that we have going on, for me, my priority is my family. My priority is taking care of them. If what I have to do is not in line with taking care of them, with protecting them, with providing for them, then I can say, yeah, this is not as important as spending time with my family. And so when everything aligned, like basically, again, it could be a tough decision where I'm feeling torn between the two. Now I get to put what I'm torn against up against the thing that I feel as is priority to me. And so again, we're building right here. You may say, I don't know what my dream is. Well, I'm saying, what are your principles? What are the things that you believe in? What are the things that you believe that you're supposed to do? What is just again that foundational belief of I'm good at this, I'm creative in this, I may be able to do this. This is where you get your direction from. You see, the reason that I'm here, the reason that I'm in this position that I'm in is not because I knew exactly what I had to do from the beginning. I just knew that I desired to help people. I knew that I desired to speak life into people, to inspire people, to equip people. And so like that is what got me to this position in front of a camera doing these kinds of things, because this is a part of the journey. The ultimate destination is getting you to where you desire to be, for to see people living out in purpose, excited, passionate about the things that they do. And so number one is direction. You may say, I don't know what my ultimate dream is, but I'm saying that whatever that feeling is, whatever those emotions may be saying, is saying that, oh, I really enjoy this. Maybe that's the milestone. Maybe that's a part of the journey to say that you're going in the right direction. Number two, identity. So who are you? So when I say who are you, I am not talking about who people have told you that you are. When I say who are you, I'm talking about the person that you know that you are, or the person that you are trying to become. So who are you? In the everyday things, what are the things that you're doing? What are the things that you get into that makes up your identity? And the thing is, I was just talking to my wife about this last night. It's so crazy that so many times we identify ourselves by the things that we can and we can't do. So many times we identify ourselves as some of the things that we can and we can't do. So for instance, I may say that I'm a speaker, but at the end of the day, I can speak. I'm Raequane Jones. At the end of the day, that's who I am. My identity is not necessarily my identity is not what I can and can't do. Those things are connected to who I am. Those things does not make up exactly who I am. All right. So every person created, yeah, everything created gets its identity and purpose from its creator. Everything created gets its identity and purpose from its creator. And so, if I was a carpenter, I have a tree, I hammer at it, I do what I have to do, and I make it into a chair. To me, as the carpenter, I said that this chair is for sitting. This chair is for standing on if you're trying to reach a high place. I've just given purpose to what I've created. And so the initial purpose, the initial intention comes from the creator. And so for me, I believe in God. I believe that God created me. And so when I think about my identity, when I think about the things that I'm purposed to do, I go to my creator to fully understand what I'm supposed to do. And so the gifts that I've been given, for instance, for the chair, it has four legs and it has a back. So those that's the gifts those are the things that I've given this chair to qualify it, to equip it to do what I've called it to do. And so there are some things that you have in your life that you have been given, and it's because you've been equipped to do the things that you're called to do. You have a passion for children. You have a passion for writing. You have a passion for reading and understanding, or you have a passion for using your hands and laboring like that. Whatever that thing is, do what you feel called to do. Do what you feel called to do. All right. And this is the big thing. Go to the creator, whoever you believe your creator is. Find your, I believe that there is one. Listen, I believe that there was one, but Go to who you believe created you. And I mean, many times you can find your purpose through that. Listen, I love my mom, I love my dad, but they were a part of the creation process. They're not my creator. And so for me, I go to God. I find my purpose and my calling and my destiny through that. Now I use my gifts and my talents and my effort to do the things that I feel I'm called to do, which is inspire people, to bring people to purpose, and to get people motivated to do the thing that they're called to do. All right. So number two, your action should be a presentation of your inner beliefs. And so the things that you feel called to do, your actions should show that. So the things that you believe on the inside should be displayed by the things that you do on the outside. So the things that you believe on the inside should be displayed by the things that you do on the outside. And so if you truly care for people, stop treating them bad. If you believe that you were supposed to be that you're supposed to speak to people, but you don't like to get in front of a camera, or you don't like to stand on stage, then write. If you're a writer, write. And so it's not about necessarily doing what everybody has done to get that thing done, but instead use the gifts and the talents that you've been given to do what you've been called to do. If that is what you inwardly believe, find a way. There is a vehicle that you can use to get to that thing that you're supposed to do. All right. So number three, your differences exposes your uniqueness. Some of us, we believe that our different, like because we're different, that means that there is something wrong with us. No, I'm telling you that your difference, that is what makes you unique. There is a group of people out there that will only hear it from you. There's a group of people out there that will only listen to someone like you. Why? Because you have a piece of your history lines up with a piece of their history. A piece of their past lines up with a piece of your past. And so your story engages with them. Your character engages with them. The way that you dress engages with them so much that they will listen to you and they won't listen to me. And so there is a group of people that you may be called to that you have to listen. Your difference is that it's like a perfect puzzle piece. In a puzzle, every single puzzle piece is different. But in order to get the full vision, or in order to see it in full, you have to take these different puzzle pieces and put it together. And so I'm saying that your uniqueness, that is, or you're different. The fact that you're different make you unique, and it gives us a different picture, a different piece of the puzzle, a different perspective on maybe even the same picture, right? And so you lean into the thing that make you different. It's okay. Lean into that, because there is something unique about you that will, and that is why you were created that way, because there is a group of people that you're called to reach. You can relate to them. They can relate to you, and you can get the same message across the way that you do it. And that's what make it beautiful, because there is no one size fit all. You get to be exactly who you are and do the thing that you've been called to do. Again, we're talking about the dream. So what is that thing that's on the inside of you that's saying that's like, oh, I feel different and I feel this or I feel that. Use that, lean into that. Like I feel like I'm an awkward person when I get around people. Some people think that is hilarious. Some people think like, oh, I can get with that. I have a buddy, Chris. His name is Chris. And the first time I met him, I'm like, man, this dude is crazy. I kind of like him. You know what I'm saying? And now we hang out, we eat lunch together, we break bread, we have conversations, we go deep, and we've created a friendship because he was himself. That is all I'm asking for you to do. All I'm asking is that you be yourself when you're presenting the things that you're presenting. Let's get to number three, clarity. Clarity, all right? So when you have clarity, you allow yourself to move freely. When you have clarity, you allow yourself to move freely, because now you're not thinking about stuff as much. You're not overthinking things. Again, clarity, this has everything to do with those principles that I talked about in the beginning. When you're clear on the principles, the things that you stand by, your pillars of life, like now when you come up against tough decisions, when you have to make decisions, when you have to get up early, when you have to go to work, when you have to work your 9 to 5, when you have to work overtime to get the finances that you need to fund your dream, those things are easy, or they become easier because these are things that absolutely aligns up with the thing that I'm trying to do. So when you have clarity, you get in this position of saying, oh yeah, that's what I do. That's who I am. I was working at Coca-Cola a couple years ago, and like our normal shift was 40 hours. Listen, overtime was my time. overtime, I knew where I wanted to be so much that overtime was just a part of my week. It was in the plan. Every single time I clocked in, I'm like, okay, whatever needs to be done. I don't care how long I have to stay, because I understand that this investment in this time of overtime, I'm 20, I'm 22, 23. Like, it doesn't matter. When I put this time in right here, I understand that it's going to fund my future. I understand that the things that I need, the things that I desire, those things, like, it will come to pass because I was willing to put in the overtime, right? All right. So number 2, it gives you the hope and motivation to keep going. Again, clarity means that there is, like, let's say, for instance, you got glasses and then mud gets on them or whatever. When you clean those things off, when you put those glasses back on, now you can see clear again. Now you can see that next step. Now you can see those things that are coming. You can see those things that are even far off. Those things that are far off, that's what keeps pulling you. And so I believe that there are two kind of things that push you and things that pull you. Many times the things that push you are the things that you don't want to happen. And things that push you are the things that encourages you for the reason that you continue to keep going, right? So the reason that you continue to keep going is because you see this future, you see this thing that you're supposed to have, and you continue to grind, and you continue to grind, and you continue to go after it, because there is a hope that comes with clarity. When you're in the wilderness and all you see is trees, when all you see are things that you are unfamiliar with, that means that, like, if you're in this place of uncertainty, of just being unclear on the direction that you're supposed to go, if you don't have that North Star, you move slower. You take a lot more time to make decisions. You don't have that same hope, that same motivation, because you can't see what the final outcome may be. I'm very optimistic. I believe that everything that we go through, it works together for our good. I'm very optimistic. I believe that we can grow and we can build even on our opposition, even on the things that go wrong, right? And so when you have clarity, you can see a better hope and and you can get motivated. All right. Clarity creates confidence. This is a beautiful thing. Again, I'm talking about that boldness. I'm talking about those emotions when you're feeling nervous. With clarity, you begin to get more bold to take those steps. And again, we can see the future. We can see the future that's way ahead. And so when you have clarity, you begin to be more confident, because now you're clear on your identity. You're clear on the principles that's going to help guide you. You're clear on the actions that you need to take, even if it's just the next step, or for the next week, I need to do this. For the next month, this is where I'm trying to be. That clarity creates the confidence to say, what I'm doing right now will pay off. What I'm doing right now will pay off. And so we have direction, we have identity, and we have clarity. And so these 3 things are beautiful elements and additional elements that's going to help you identify what that dream is. And once you start identifying it, now you have these 3 things that's going to help you push past and push over and push toward that thing that you call your dream. All right. So listen, I appreciate you. Thank you for being on the channel. If this has blessed you, go ahead and hit that like, hit that share, hit the bell notification. So anytime I post a video, you get the notifications. Come back if you're listening to the podcast. I appreciate you. I thank you for being here. Listen, I have a Write the Vision course that I've created, and it's to help you get clear on the things that you desire to do when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your finances, your health, your marriage, or the person that you believe that you're supposed to be with, and your calling, the thing that you're purposed to do, and I call it your ministry, the thing that that you've been created for. And so I have a course. Listen, the link is in the bio. You can go ahead, or in the description, you can go ahead and click that link, head over, learn more about it, get all the information that you need. And if you want to check our website out, it's www.beyondprosperous.com. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.